Put a small amount of blood on the bottom slide, about the size of a capital O on a typed page. Hold the top slide at about a 30 to 45 degree angle, whatever way is comfortable for you. Back slowly into the drop of blood and pause, letting the blood spread along the back of the top slide. Then in a quick, smooth motion, push the top slide along the bottom slide, creating the smear. Make sure you label the slides with a pencil, definitely not a Sharpie, as Sharpie will come off when you fix your slide in methanol. So after you've made your smear, the slide you used to spread the blood now becomes the slide for the next specimen. Grab a new, clean slide to spread the blood on this one, and make your next smear. If space or weight is a factor, you can make 2 smears for every microscope slide. Here's how you do it. Put a small amount of blood on the bottom left-hand side of your slide. Make sure you've got frosted side up if you have frosted slides. Smear using the same exact technique that you've been using before. Now, you're going to flip this spreader slide over. Add blood on the right-hand side. Now you've got frosted side down. Make the second smear, and again we just flip this over, and this becomes the slide for the next 2 samples. So after you've made the smears, it's important to fix them, ideally in methanol, 100% or absolute, but if you don't have access to methanol, ethanol will do in a pinch. You can use a Copland staining jar like this, or if you don't have a staining jar, we've used 50 milliliter Falcon tubes to do the same thing. With these Copland jars, you have slots that will hold your slides. Just put a slide in between each one. You can actually do more than the 5 here if you use this technique. Take 2 slides, the smears are on them, put them back to back, and now they can take up just a single slot. So you could fix 10 slides in a Copland jar. You can close it up if you're in a high humidity area to protect the methanol from getting saturated with water. Leave it about 30 seconds to a minute. That'll be sufficient to dehydrate your slides. Pull them out, drain off the excess methanol, and allow them to air dry for a few minutes before you put them into the slide box. To pack up your slides to transport them home or to mail them away, use an empty slide box and then pack them, putting a strip of index card in between each one. If your box isn't full, you can add tissue paper or other stuffing to make sure that the slides are nice and tight in the box. Then this can just get taped and it's ready to go safely without any danger of breaking the slides. If you're not taking tissue samples from the animal, it's helpful to have a few drops of blood dried onto plain old filter paper to later extract the DNA. I used 2 of these, so we have one blotter protecting the one that we're going to make the dots on. Do not touch the outer edge of this with your fingers, because then you'll get oils from your fingers on that can destroy the DNA. Label the middle of the filter paper with your locality and the date, and then your first sample number. You can apply blood either from your microcapillary tube. You want about 6 good-sized dots are typical. And DNA can be extracted from each of those dots. And again, not touching the outer part of the paper, you can now do your second sample right along the edge. As you pack up these filter papers, make sure that there's a clean, dry one in between each one, and if possible, store them in an airtight bag with silica gel to keep them from getting moist.